Good morning, welcome to Headline Focus here on Core Politics with me, Rob Double. It's the Tuesday, the 17th of October 2017, and let's have a look at what's making the news. So to start off with, let's have a look at the Times. Now, there's going to be a 15-year time limit on peers in the House of Lords, so how long they're allowed to actually serve in the House of Lords. This is under proposals by the Lords Committee responsible for cutting the House of Lords down to size. They're going to release these proposals a little bit later this month, but the Times have got wind of them and are reporting on them now. There's almost 800 peers in the House of Lords with no retirement age or time limit at the moment, and this is left to the House of Lords as a body becoming extremely large and bloated in many people's eyes, in fact, including the eyes of the peers themselves who voted to reduce the size of the chamber last December. So that's something to look forward to in the next month or so. Next up in the Guardian, but also in many other papers as well, is what happened last night at this Brussels dinner. If you remember, we reported on yesterday, Theresa May rushed over to Brussels yesterday for emergency talks with Jean-Claude Juncker, the European Commission, and other European figures about this so-called Brexit stalemate over the Brexit negotiations, which David Davis and Michel Barnier had come to this week, in fact, when the talks ended. They signed a letter last night which said, and I quote it here, they agreed that these efforts should accelerate over the months to come. So they agreed to the principle that the negotiations should be accelerating at a better pace. However, there were no further concessions offered by the UK to the EU, particularly on the real contentious issues such as the divorce bill or the rights of EU citizens. And this, therefore, doesn't leave much suggestion that come the European Council meeting later this week, there is going to be the approval for Michel Barnier to allow talks on free trade to progress, because there hasn't been sufficient progress yet in the European Union's eyes to progress onto that second stage of negotiations. That's certainly something more lines will come out of that today, so check out your international news feeds if you want to know more. Let's have a look in focus, though, at the main story. Now, Hurricane Ophelia is still in the news, as you can see here in the Mail and the Eye. You've got some fantastic pictures here, particularly in the Daily Mail. However, it doesn't paint a particularly accurate story. There is some bad news which has come from Ophelia, particularly in Ireland and Northern Ireland. All schools in Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland remain closed for a second day, with 3 people having been killed in Ireland yesterday, with 245,000 customers without electricity. Also in Northern Ireland, there's 3,600 homes without power. Also news as well, Ophelia is not over yet, or at least the remnants of the hurricane. Winds of more than 70 miles per hour and heavy rain are predicted to hit Scotland and Northern England, with the Met Office offering a yellow be aware wind warning across southern and central Scotland and northern England. A flood warning is also in place in Dorset, and a series of flood alerts across the northwest and the southwest of England. Let's have a look then at one more story which comes from the Daily Telegraph. Tories denied majority by unfair system. Now, this refers to the Conservatives apparently being denied a House of Commons majority by an unfair constituency system. This is according to an official review of MP seats. Now, this is the Boundary Commission review, and this is basically responsible for restructuring the constituency boundaries across the whole of the UK, so to make them more even and spread them out better. Now, this, under the proposals they've put forward, the new constituencies which were being put forward, the Conservatives actually would have got a small majority in the last election, hence this headline. Just a bit of background to the Boundary Commission. It was proposed by the coalition under plans to reduce the number of MPs down to 50 to 600 MPs. So, interesting story there. Probably going to be some news on that as well today, as some Conservative MPs will be wanting to make the headlines. That's pretty much it. You're up to date today. Don't forget you can find all the latest on what we're doing here on Core Politics on our Facebook page and on Twitter right here. But from me and all the team here at Core London, have a fantastic Tuesday.